Hi guys, today I'll be showing you how to draft, cut and sew this beautiful trendy Bubu Kaftan gown with a tight waist, a front slit and a built-up collar. It is so detailed, beginner friendly and very easy to understand. So if you really want to see how this was made, please keep watching. And if this is your first time on this channel, please click on the subscribe button. This helps the channel to grow. And also don't forget to drop a like and a comment. Now we're going to go into the drafting proper. So yeah, I've gone ahead to fold my fabric and I folded for the front and the back because I'll be cutting the front and the back at the same time. And this Bubu gown does not have a zipper, so there will be no need for a zipper allowance. And the width of the fabric I folded is 23 inches. So if you want yours to be longer than this, you can go ahead to increase the width. So what I have here is 23 inches. The first thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to draw a straight line at the top of my fabric like so. This line I'm drawing at this point is going to be serving as the shoulder line for the Bubu gown I'll be making. The next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to mark my neck width and the neck depth. So I'll go ahead to mark a neck width of 3.5 inch for both the front and the back of the Bubu gown. For the back neck depth, I'm going to go ahead to mark 1.5 inch as the back neck depth. Once I'm done marking the neck depth for the back, I'll go ahead to draw the neckline like you see me doing in the video. So this is going to be serving as the back neck depth. Next, I'll go ahead to insert the front neck depth, which is 8 inch. I'll go ahead to mark it. After marking it, I'll be going in by 2 inch from the 8 inch point like so. Then I'll go ahead to connect that point to the neck with using my ruler like so. Once I'm done doing this, the next I'm going to go ahead to do is to mark the 2 inch all the way down. So I'm going to go ahead to go in by 2 inch from the center of my fabric like so. And I'll mark the 2 inch all the way down. After marking, I'll connect the point together with a straight line. Once I'm done drawing this line on the center of the fabric, the next I'm going to go ahead to do is to mark my sleeve opening. And in doing that, I'm going to go ahead to place my tape from the shoulder line and mark 8 inch. This 8 inch is going to be serving as the sleeve opening. The next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to measure the full length of the gown I'm going to be making. So the full length of the gown I'm making is 60 inch. I'm going to go ahead to place my tape on my shoulder line like so, and I'll go ahead to measure the 60 inch like you see me doing in the video. Once I'm done doing that, the next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to mark where I want the coat to start from. And in doing that, I'm going to go ahead to place my tape on the shoulder line like so, and I'll measure 30 inch away from that point like you see me doing in the video. Once I'm done doing that, the next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to insert my hip divided by 4 on that point I just marked. So I'll go ahead to insert my hip divided by 4 plus 1 inch for ease and 1 inch for my sewing allowance. The next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to move over to the full length of the gown I'm making. On the full length now, what I'll go ahead to do is to minus 1.5 inch from whatever I have on this my hip line here. So I'm going to go ahead to minus 1.5 inch. Whatever you have at that point, you can go ahead to minus 1.5 inch or 1 inch, depending on how pencil you want the gown to be. So for me, I'll go ahead to minus 1.5 inch for whatever I have at this point, and I'll insert it on the full length line. Once I'm done doing that, I'm going to go ahead to connect the 2 points with a straight line like you see me doing in the video. The next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to draw the kohl effect on the side of the gown. And in doing that, all you'll be doing is to use your hand to draw a curve like you see me doing in the video. So it's very simple, just draw a curve like so. Then you go ahead to connect it to this point like this. So this is what the kohl is going to look like. So basically, this is what the gown is going to look like. The next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to cut it out. After cutting the side, the next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to separate the front from the back. Once I'm done doing that, I'm going to go ahead to cut the front neckline and also this 2 inch I went in by. So just watch what I'm doing and follow the same process. So after cutting, this is what the gown is going to look like. The next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to join the shoulders of the front. to the back. So here I have the back block of the gown I'm making. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to place the front block on the back like so. Once I'm done placing the front block on the back like this, I'm going to go over my sewing machine to join the shoulders together, and I'll be doing the same thing on the other side of the gown. So when joining your shoulders, you make sure that the good face of the fabric are facing each other, then you go ahead to join the shoulders together. So I'm going to go ahead to quickly do that now. Once I'm done doing that, I'll come back to show you the next step. Once I was done joining the shoulders together, this is what it is going to look like. So here I have the back of the gown and here I have the front of the gown. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to work on the front opening. And in doing that, the first thing I'll go ahead to do is to measure the length of the front opening. So I'm going to go ahead to start taking my measurement from this point, and I'll go ahead to measure to the other side of the gown. So once I was not taking the measurement, what I got was 145 inch. So I'm going to go ahead to cut my strip using that 145 inch, and I'll be adding 5 inch extra for allowance to avoid shortage when cutting. And also the width of the strip I'm going to be cutting out is going to be 2.5 inch. Remember, we cut out 2 inch from the center front. So when cutting your strip, you're going to be making it 2.5 inch plus your sewing allowance. I'm going to be cutting my strip using this black doll face you see here. So you go ahead to fold your doll face into 2 like so. Then you go ahead to measure 2.5 inch and cut it out. So I'm going to go ahead to quickly do that. Once I'm done doing that, I'll come back to show you what to do next. So after I was done cutting out the strip, this is what the strip is going to look like. So the width of the strip on fold is going to be 2.5 inch, but once it is open, it's going to be 5 inch. So when you open the strip, you're going to be having 5 inch when you open the strip. And also I went ahead to add an interface to the strip to give it more structure, but it is totally optional. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to measure my neck depth and where I want my slit opening to be on my fabric. Before then, the first thing I'll go ahead to do is to notch the center back of my fabric like so. So you're going to go ahead to locate the center back of your fabric, then you go ahead to notch it. So once I was done notching it, the next I'm going to go ahead to do is to locate the neck depth of the bubu gown I'm making. And in doing that, I'm going to go ahead to measure from the shoulder line. That is where I joined the shoulder. I'll go ahead to measure 7 inch. So this is where I want this neck opening to stop. That is the neck depth of the gown I'm making. So if you want yours to be deeper, you can go ahead to measure 8 inch. Next, I'm going to go ahead to measure from the center back down to the 7 inch point I just marked. And once I'm done taking the measurement, what I got was 12 inch. So the neck opening I'm going to be taking on this black strip is going to be 12 inch. The next I'm going to go ahead to do now to measure where I want the slit opening to be, and in doing that, I'll also go ahead to place my tape on the center back like so. Then I'll go ahead to take my measurement down to where I want the slit opening to stop. So for me, I want the slit opening to stop at 46 inch. I'm going to go ahead to mark the 46 inch like so. So you're going to go ahead to take this measurement on your body first before you take it on your fabric to be sure of the point where the opening is to be. Next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to take out those measurements on this black strip. But before then, what I'll go ahead to do is to open up the strip like so, making sure that the good face of the strip are facing each other like you see me doing in the video. Once I'm done doing that, the next I'm going to go ahead to do is to take out the measurement I just took on my fabric and make sure you fold the strip into 2 equal parts when you are opening it up like so. I'm going to go ahead to place my tape roll at the top of the strip like so. Then I'll go ahead to measure 12 inch and mark. Once I'm done doing that, I'm going to go ahead to take the measurement for the slit opening. I'll place my tape roll at the top of the strip again like so. Then I'll go ahead to measure from that point to 46 inch, which is my slit opening. So I'm going to go ahead to mark it. The next I'm going to go ahead to do once I'm done doing that is to run a stitch from the neck opening down to where I want my slit opening to be. And when running the stitch, make sure that you're running the stitch on the center of the strip like so. So this part I ironed is going to be serving as the center of the strip. So I'll go over my sewing machine to run the stitch like so. Once I'm done doing that, I'll come back to show you what to do next. So after stitching from this point to the slit opening point, this is what it is going to look like. The next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to fold the strip into 2 like you see me doing in the video. So once you iron yours, it will be easier to fold into 2 like so. All you'll be doing is to fold it over into 2 like you see me doing in the video. This part here is going to be serving as the slit opening, and the upper part is going to be serving as the neck opening. So make sure that whatever you have on the neck opening is wide enough to accommodate the head. So I'm just going to go ahead to repeat the folding again. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to take one piece from this part and take one piece from the other side. Then you just go ahead to flip it open like so. So automatically it is going to flip open if it is iron. So this is what it's going to look like. It is so simple. This upper part here is going to be serving as the neck opening, while the lower part that is open is going to be serving as the slit opening. So this is what we are going to be having. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to attach the strip to the gown. And in doing that, I'll be placing the midpoint of the strip on my fabric like so, making sure that the good face of the strip is facing the good face of the fabric like so. Then I'll go ahead to stitch it all the way down to the hem of the gown. Once I'm done stitching it on this part, I'm going to come back to stitch it on the other side also. So I'm going to go over my sewing machine to quickly do that. Once I'm done doing that, I'll come back to show you what to do next. So after I was done stitching the strip to the gown, this is what it is going to look like. So here we have the neck opening and here we have the slit opening. So basically this is what it is going to look like once you're done doing that. Next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to attach this strip to the waist, and in doing that I'm going to go ahead to measure from my shoulder to my waist, which is 17. I'll go ahead to mark, and I'll be repeating the same thing on the other side. I'll measure my shoulder to waist on the other side also, which is 17, and I'll go ahead to mark. Once I'm done doing that, I'll go ahead to insert my waist divided by 2 on the part I just marked. So my waist divided by 2 is 15 inch. I'll go ahead to measure the 15 inch on the center front like so and mark. After marking it, I'm going to go ahead to be attaching the strip on this part that I just marked. So when fixing the strip, I'll be fixing the strip on the wrong side of my fabric like so. So I'll place it on it like this, but I'll be placing it on the wrong side of my fabric like so. And I'll go ahead to stitch it down, and I'll be doing the same thing for the other side also. Once I'm done stitching the strip to the gown, the next I'm going to go ahead to do is to close up the sides. And in doing that, I'll place the fabric, make sure that the good face are facing each other. Then I'll go ahead to close up the opening on the side of the fabric. So when closing up the opening on the side of the fabric, the first thing you're going to go ahead to do is to measure your sleeve opening, which is 8 inch. Once you're done taking out the sleeve opening measurement, you're going to go ahead to stitch from that point to the hem of the gown. Then you go ahead to finish up the sleeve opening and the hem of the gown. So I'm going to go on my sewing machine to quickly do that, then I'll come back to show you the final look of the gown. So after closing up the side and attaching the strip to the gown, this is what the gown is going to look like. As you can see, it's looking very beautiful and it came out very nice. So if this video was helpful to you and you're yet to subscribe, please click on the subscribe button, and also don't forget to drop a like and a comment. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.